All right, but you guys got to see if you can sleep over for the rest of the weekend. It's Saturday at 2:30. That means we have 39 hours to play Games Fair until school on Monday.
Woohoo! Awesome! Oh, crap.
What?
I'm supposed to go to the lake with my family tomorrow and swim and play in the stupid sun.
Dude, we got Games Fair.
I know. Well, look, I'll stay over anyway so I can play for 18 hours, and then I'll go to the lake.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
What?
When you get out of the water, you need to dry off right away to avoid catching a cold. That's why Tally says, don't forget to bring a towel.
Okay.
Thanks, Tally.
You want to get high?
If your friends are nerdy and you are nerdy too, I want to talk to you. Friends talking nerdy.
Next one.
Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused. That's such a great stoner movie, man.
I did not care for it.
Really?
I'm sorry, I didn't care for it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either.
Oh man,
Sorry at all.
For shame. That's a great flick, man.
I feel like there's just not enough of anything that made me want to appreciate it. I don't know. I did not.
I love the story. You got this. It's the last day of school. The freshmen those coming freshmen gotta avoid getting licks. I mean, it's like an average night in a Midwest town. It's based in Texas. It's a classic film. You guys really didn't feel for it. That's an incredible. I feel sorry for you guys. That's a really
Don't feel
great
sorry.
film.
I'm fine. Tim, you fine? I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll survive.
Yeah.
So.
You guys are just missing. That's it's each his own. But for me, that's a really great stoner film.
No, I know a lot of people loved it, and I saw it in the theater, and I just was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, McConaughey, Ben Affleck, who else? Oh, God, Julia Lawrence. You talk about Clerks.
Yeah, Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
I think that may have been her first film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was just too laid back for my taste. Richard Linklater, he definitely deserves his reputation. I just didn't care for it. Not my cup of tea.
No.
Yeah. So,
More?
Don't cry.
No tears for me.
No tears. All right, so my turn. So, just so you guys know, while we're sitting here, Noel took out this book, which I think is hysterical, called Reaper Movie Madness, the ultimate stoner film guide. So,
a must-have for any of our listeners who are stoners and like watching movies. Yeah, this is the book to have when you collect.
I think this is awesome. It totally is great, but it's funny. So the next movie I want to mention, and I'm curious because I'm just not coming across it, is Natural Born Killers. But I'm just not seeing it mentioned. I'm sure it's probably in the book. It's a weird setup the way the book has. It's not it's alphabetized, but it's in sections. But anyways, no, this I think. Even Oliver Stone said, he purposely did it like it was like being on a trip. Like, that's why the way he did the whole thing. And I remember Coca-Cola, because they showed those polar bears that were in the commercial. Like, there was a whole issue on that in the movie. When the movie came out, I think Coca-Cola was going to sue him because of it. Because, it was too much of a connection to, being stoned. And, Coca-Cola didn't want to have any connection to being with drugs or addiction or anything.
Yeah, they didn't.
So sorry, Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, they didn't want their fine, upstanding product to be associated with that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's that feels more like a social commentary on media, and it's kind of relevant today, I would say.
Much more so than when it came out. I mean, when the film took advantage of shows that were popular at the time, like A Current Affair, Hard Copy, shows that, believe it or not, helped. I think it was Hard Copy. That was created by 20th Century Fox, and they used the hard copy format to create this little known network network you may have heard of called Fox News.
Yeah.
So it really was a harbinger of things to come, and then today, much more so. I mean, with social media, everybody's. It's like the smallest little infraction that a human being does, whether they deserve the condemnation or not, everybody knows about it, and it is something it really is a film that does have a message. Apart from, it's just that the violence in the film kind of, keeps some people away that need to hear that message, I guess.
Yeah, no, it truly, I thought, was well done and definitely very trippy. And yeah, I'm just really shocked it's not in this book. How is it not? How did it freaking, they have all this other weird, they have Star Trek, they have Wizard of Oz, they have Willy Wonka, they have everything in here. But they don't even freaking have natural born killers.
Well, who knows? Who knows? The criteria of the book. Who knows?
Well, and with the movies you mentioned, they are at the end of the day traditional movies. They're feel good movies at the end of the day, and Natural Born Killers is anything but. So maybe it's one of those movies that you watch if you want to be in a bad mood when you're high. I don't know.
I don't know. No, because they have a lot of messed up movies. They have, seriously, this book has everything in here. It's crazy, and I don't want to mention everything because I'm sure you guys are going to mention some other stuff. So.
Right.
All right, moving on. Your turn, Tim.
My turn. Let's see here. How about another Kevin Smith movie, Mallrats?
Not as great as Clerks. I was kind of disappointed on that.
Yeah, I would compare Mallrats to what he did later with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, but Mallrats did not have Will Ferrell, so that's a plus for me.
That's all you care about.
Oh, yeah. But, just the setting in the mall, and that was I believe, second ever cameo appearance from Stan Lee in a film. The first one was an Incredible Hulk TV movie that was in the late 80s where he was a member of the jury, and then Bruce Banner turned into the Hulk and freaked out, but Stan's just sitting there. But I loved Stan's little speech at the end, and just if you do one thing, if you ever see Mallrats on the USA Network or something like that, listen to the dubbed version of the movie, because if they do swear words, for instance, and they show it on a regular network, they instead of damn, they will have the actor come in and do an alternate take saying darn. But Jason Mewes did not do that. They got a different actor to do ADR for his lines for the broadcast TV rights, and it does not sound like Jay at all. And it's just the oddest mixing. It's funny to watch.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, next.
All right, next one.
I'm going to say Alien. Now listen, we're talking about film now. Now, why would I say Alien and be a stoner film, even though it's a horror movie? But if the first 30 minutes of the film, you can just sit back and just get really, really, really mellow with it, right? You know it's coming. It's happening for that. Of course, now depending on your tolerance, you would never want to see something that scary if you're not used to it. Even though it's kind of for the time of it now, it's kind of cheesy, but the suspense and horror of it is incredible. I remember seeing that movie Stone, and it was kind of trippy. Not for everyone's taste, but just the fact that it's just one of those films that really depends on you. Filling in all that stuff, because all the tension's here. You don't know when you're going to see it happening, but it's coming. So for me, Alien's a definitely interesting stoner film to watch, or a film for stoners.
Not a fan of the original. The James Cameron sequel, in my opinion, was better. But I've, believe it or not, I've never been a huge Aliens fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey Tim, have you seen the director's cut of Aliens?
Nope.
You probably like that, because they explain more about what happens with Ripley, but also you get to see about the colonists living on LB-47.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really, if you get a chance to check it out. Look, the HBO was showing it for a while, but if you can find out there, find the director's cut of Aliens. It's really interesting. It's actually like 30 Well, actually, it's actually 40 minutes of the film, but it's really kind of interesting if you see it.
Nice. All right. Next one.
All right. So my next one is going to be The Matrix. Basically, this movie in itself is trippy. Basically, it's like you're in a world and, for whatever reason, you think, no, there's a different world out there and this world is not real. And then it's like, you get to the point where you meet somebody who's like, take the red pill or take the blue pill. It's like the ultimate mind fuck, I guess. If you stop and think about it, like, it's like, can you imagine, like, if that's how it really, God, for all the crappy ass days we all have, I would love to hope and wish that there's a different world out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And a classic. The two sequels, Reloaded and Revolutions, are pretty damn good as well, but...
No. Oh my, Tim, really?
I like them. They are flawed, but I do like them.
Dude, by the third one, it became, I felt like they're trying to convert me into Christianity or something. It was a whole Jesus theme out there. It was like so in your face. And that's the one thing I remember everybody was like saying, like there's like that one big dance orgy scene. Like what was going on with that? Like they just like, no. Sorry, no.
No, and trust me, I get that. Like I said, they are flawed, but it just goes to show that, sometimes you don't necessarily need to see a greater world. I think Star Wars is kind of going through that right now. The main story people love, but some of these offshoot stories that they're trying to tell to open up the world more aren't getting the traction that they hoped. And sometimes, a writer should ask himself, do I need to open up the world as much as they do in the Matrix movies or Star Wars? But obviously money is going to rule out at the end of the day, and they're going to continue to churn them out until they get bomb after bomb. But I don't know. I still like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You obviously have some better stuff over there than I have here that you enjoy those other movies, but okay.
Oh, speaking of that, Matrix had a pretty decent video game. I forgot the specific name of it, but it was a video game.
Enter the Matrix, I think it was.
Yeah, the one where you're essentially going through the entire movie as another character, but near the end of the game, when you get to the final boss battle, you get this cutscene with the Wachowskis talking about, when you're making a video game, having a story that symbolizes Jesus and all that stuff just doesn't play well, so we gave you this instead. And then that's when the character has the final battle with Mr. Smith and whatnot. But if you get a chance, I believe you should be able to see that cut scene on YouTube somewhere, but it was pretty funny.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, let's run it.
Yep, my next one... Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny.
That was a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of an expansion on their HBO show as well as their first album. But it entails Jack and JB finding out that there's an actual guitar pick that will make them instant rock stars, and they go off trying to look for that guitar pick, and just the craziness ensues. What stands out more than anything is the music. Tenacious D was a band first and foremost, and they put out some damn fine music. It's funny as hell, but it's also good.
Yeah. That was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's funny film. Their music's good too. Their first album's a kind of funny album.
Yeah, my favorite song off that first album, "Fuck Her Gently." I can't go wrong with that.
Nice.
Crazy.
All right. Next one.
For me, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Do you know what? So the issue I have with this movie, it was forced on me by my school. We actually took a school trip to go watch it, and then we had to do a report on it. So anytime, you're forced to do something like that, that's it. We're done.
Wow. Man. Once the man ape throws the bone in the air and it transitions, oh man, that's a great film to see. So man, that's a great film. Especially on the big screen.
I saw it on the big screen. Again, a school trip to the theater. We had to write a report. I fell asleep watching it. I was so bored.
Really?
I don't get the love that film has among people. I was bored to tears. I mean, the only good thing about that is that it introduced the world to that theme song that Ric Flair eventually made his own. But, Kubrick deserves his place in Hollywood history. I'm just not a fan. His movies are too lethargic and slow-paced for my taste.
Go ahead.
Don't cry.
No, far from it.
Okay.
No love for Noel.
All right. What's your next one?
All right, so I feel like it's basically these are like I'm picking off the majority of movies that are on my list for the movie challenge. Next one is Blazing Saddles.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know. There's not much to be said. It's anybody who knows Blazing Saddles, seen it, watched it, they know best movie ever. So just sit back, relax, and
Mongo Pawn and Game of Life.
Yeah, and also too how they kind of switched things up, like the fight at the end, how it transitions from the fight in the western town to the
Dom DeLuise movie.
Yeah, what is
Gay
it?
Dancing.
The French Mistake song, yeah.
Yeah.
And just the fight throughout, and Harvey Korman as Hedley Lamar. He's an unsung straight man in comedy. Just he gets so many laughs by playing it so serious. If anybody in the audience has not seen Harvey Korman in action, you gotta watch Blazing Saddles because he is amazing in that movie.
I think anything he did was just awesome.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
My next one, let's stick with Mel Brooks. Spaceballs.
Good one.
Yeah.
Yep, just making fun of sci-fi. I mean, my favorite scene, probably most favorite scene, is John Hurt in the diner has another alien pop out of him, and not again. And then the alien grabs the hat and the cane and "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey," and singing the Michigan J. Frog song. When it first came out, I was in middle school, and that was a time, you two may remember, how they would always have a novelization based on a movie, how those were popular. They actually made a novelization of Spaceballs. And I read that first before I saw the movie.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, look that up.
Yeah, you could tell how popular it was, but when I did first see it, I saw it on TBS, and they edited out pretty much all the jokes, and I didn't care for it until I saw it on DVD. But Rick Moranis' Dark Helmet, my goodness, he was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. Your helmet's so big. Jewish princesses like big help. Well, no, it was like, because I have money and power, you like both. I don't know, something along those lines. It was great.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let me see. So far, 0 for 2. All right. How about Animal House? Is that
yes?
Animal House is okay, Tim? Yes, Animal House.
Haven't seen it, but good director. John Belushi's amazing in it. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably catch it one of these days, but.
You never seen Animal House? Like never on reruns television?
It's on cable right now.
Nope, never saw it.
Wow.
Or like, wow.
Yeah, that's yeah.
How did you not see it?
Great film. The film is out there. You can catch it. The scene I kind of like is when they're actually scene with Peter Rieger and Karen Allen, and they're going to meet her professor, he introduced him to pot, and they smoking weed. It was just funny sequence. But that's a really good film to see stoned as well too.
Nice.
Yeah, you gotta catch it. Yeah, Tim, you gotta watch it one of these days. It's you know, for its time. It's a funny movie.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen some clips, like when Bluto put the potatoes in his mouth, smashed his cheeks together, and I'm a zit. Yeah. And then,
I'm a zit. Get it? That's what it is.
A pledge pin. What is a pledge pin? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Might have another.
Exactly. Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Your next one.
My next one's going back to Mel Brooks, because this one has to be said, is History of the World Part 1.
It's good to be the king.
Oh my God, there's just so many good stuff in that movie. Yeah, it's, Madeline Kahn, again, freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Gregory Hines was great.
Yeah.
Even the music, the Inquisition. I mean, it's god awful, but that was.
What do you say?
He totally crossed that line. Where let's insult our natural heritage. The history of everything that we went through. But
the Lord Jehovah has given us these 15. These 10 commandments. And then at the end, Jews in space. I love that.
That was good. A lot of good stuff in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, my next one, I'm going to go with a cartoon. When I'm high, occasionally I will put on a little Daffy Duck cartoon called Duck Amuck. The greatest Warner Brothers cartoon ever made. It's Daffy Duck starting off thinking he's doing a Three Musketeers bit, but then the animator decides to change the scenes up, and it's like, fine, have it your way. And then he dresses up like a farmer, and Daffy Ducky had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm he had an igloo, E-I-E-I-O, like that. Just absolutely everything about that cartoon is amazing. It's a classic. I love that cartoon. Yeah.
All right.
Wow. How do I follow that up?
I'm sure you'll find a way.
Yeah, you're next.
Do you need the book?
No, actually, no, I don't. I was trying to think. Since you guys are gonna rain on my parade and did aliens and this and that.
Hey, I didn't say anything about aliens.
So Alien, excuse me. But I'm gonna pick Blade Runner. It's another good stoner film to watch. Visually stunning, and just it's a really good kickback, relaxing film. And for me as a stoner, man, just sitting back and watching these visual films like that really makes the high better. Makes it more intense. And the soundtrack, the score, all that stuff.
That movie puts me to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't care for it.
Now I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say I didn't care for it. It's just every time I tried to watch it, I would fall asleep also.
Wow.
So I know I have to watch it. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten around to it. So yeah. But I know it's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No said.
I feel like this podcast should be titled "Hate on Noel."
No said.
No love for Noel. That's what it should be.
No said.
All right.
Yeah, Morah? Did the book get your attention?
I'm looking. There's so many. It's so funny. I kind of had my own list, but now it's going through this. It's oh yeah, I forgot about this movie. I forgot about this movie, and this movie. So I don't know. The next movie, I want to bring up, but at the same time, it's I feel like I really shouldn't, because it's a movie I totally love, but I can see if I was ever high watching it, it would probably have a different appreciation for it. It would be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
The original or the
of course the original. What's wrong with you? I won't. They never should have done remake. That's one movie that never should have been touched. Just don't do it. But yeah, it's
Tim Burton though. He's so great at remakes. Come on.
And the podcast is done. Thanks for stopping by. And we are done. Yeah.
All right. My next one, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, and it did have Will Ferrell, but I do got to show some love for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, if only because it introduced us to the song Because I Got High from Afro Man.
Oh, yeah, that was that movie.
Yeah, and Kevin Smith even directed the video for it, but actually heard that song first on the Howard Stern show. I thought that it was one of their phony their song parodies that they put up. But I was going to clean my room, but then I got high. I mean, just it's the joke. I mean, it's one of those deals that you hear it the first time, it's amazing, but then when they replay it 700 times, it loses its edge. But that was an amazing song. And the movie, not so much, but it's one of those deals too that if you enjoy it with the right substances, you probably get a lot more enjoyment out of it than going in clean.
So
okay, oh man, I just had Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You want to hear that also?
I'm not a Pee Wee Herman fan.
You too, Tim?
So I never saw the movie.
No. I mean, I watched Pee-wee's Playhouse as a kid, but yeah.
So,
sorry.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, great stoner movie. Pee-wee's trying to find his bike, meets up with interesting characters on the way. Great film to watch. Remember my mom seen that film when I was younger, and when I got older, and Blaze One saw it. Funny, great movie. So, for me, it's a great stoner film.
Okay.
Your turn, Morah.
I don't know. I guess the next one I'm going to go into, since we started talking about animation from before, let's bring up South Park. I don't know, either the TV series or even the movie. Bigger, better, uncut, I think it was. So.
Bigger, longer, and uncut, yeah.
Bigger and longer. They're just so twisted. It's great. Gotta love everything. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can't forget their greatest stoner creation, Towley. You can't forget Towley.
Oh, God. I thought you were going to say Mr. Hanky.
No, I love Mr. Hanky, too, but Towley it's one of those so bad, it's great characters, don't forget to bring a towel. You want to get high? just the character just makes no sense. And also the episode A Million Little Fibers, where they make fun of that author who wrote a memoir but lied in the memoir, went on Oprah's show, and all that stuff. That's one of the funny ones there. But you can't go wrong with South Park, even though they've come out as Republicans now.
Did they really?
They really did.
No way.
They did.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, right?
Well, believe it or not, it didn't surprise me that much. I mean, they lean more libertarian than anything. And from what I see, most conservatives that don't like the social aspect of the GOP platform will tend to identify as a libertarian, because that still allows them to do their messed up economic nonsense and all that stuff. But that's a different story for a different podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still funny. I mean, they're not going to go the Dennis Miller route of suddenly sucking the moment they come out as conservative or anything like that. But yeah, you can't go wrong with that show.
All right, your turn.
My turn. A little movie from 2007 called Hot Fuzz.
I love that movie. It's a good one.
It was okay. It was all right.
I loved it. I mean, just some of the surprising little cameos. I love that Edward Woodward, who American audiences in the 80s know from the TV show The Equalizer. He had I think that was one of his last roles in movies. He was one of the townspeople that worked in the closed caption, the security office where they saw everything going on. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have amazing chemistry together, and just the John Woo type of action violence that they had near the end of the movie was amazing. The jumping through the air with two guns and all that. It's a must-watch film. Shaun of the Dead you could probably put on that list as well. I've not seen The World's End yet, but it's definitely.
I saw it. It was okay. It just. Like the thing that I loved with Hot Fuzz, was the way they edited it, was because it was like your typical, they were making such a spoof on those cop crime movies. So the way they would jump, scenes and even the angles they were taking for the camera work, and then even the spoof that they had with everybody's names, everybody's last name was kind of like a spoof. When you see him writing, when he gets to town and he winds up arresting 3 kids, and you see their last names, he's writing them down. It's just everything is a kind of a joke.
Well, that was actually that was intended there, because when they were writing the script, they thought about what's missing in police and these types of stories. Policemen have to fill out a lot of paperwork when they do stuff like that, so they intentionally included the paperwork scenes in the movie, and the MVP of that movie goes to Timothy Dalton as the villain. Just the final action piece at the end is still painful to watch when he falls chin first on that little makeshift church steeple, and it goes through his mouth, and just ow.
There's a joke in that movie that I never get, and I keep meaning to look it up. It's at the end, like you said. So Timothy Dalton is running, trying to escape, and he gets to that scene you mentioned, but right before he gets injured, him and Simon Pegg, and you have that little kid, that little redheaded kid, and I can't remember the little kid said something who are you or something, and the little kid says his name or he says something, and I just remember this response. I'm I don't understand his response. I had to actually put closed caption on to understand what he said. But even once I understood it, I'm there's got to be a joke there, and I'm just not getting it. I don't know. Yeah. Something we'll have to revisit at another time. So. Yeah,
and we'll definitely talk about it, because those movies, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End, are essentially spiritual successors to a TV show they did in England called Spaced. If you haven't seen that,
yes, I've never seen it, but I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you meant to. You know you did.
Bite me.
And with that, another episode of Friends Talking Nerdies in the books. Thank you all for listening. This is Tim Jousma. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can subscribe on the Google Play Music Store. You can find us on Spotify now, of all places. Go to Spotify, look for Friends Talking Nerdy, subscribe. Support us on Patreon as well. We want to continue bringing all the best episodes that we possibly can. To do that, anything takes money. So Patreon is a great way to support struggling artists, to hopefully invest in them. And when you invest in them, hopefully somewhere down the road you get plenty of stuff back. I don't know. But definitely support us. We would definitely appreciate it if you did. As we've been talking about the past few weeks, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have the Friends Talking Nerdy Greatest Movie Ever Championship Tournament. Head to friendstalkingnerdy.com. The website where you can listen to each and every episode of this wonderful podcast for some more information. What this tournament is: Morah, myself, Sterling, and Noel, we got our 16 favorite movies together, and like March Madness, we bracketed them up. And what we did is we argued those movies out until there was one winner remaining. This is not a scientific test, mind you. This is not a scientific poll that will ultimately describe what the greatest movie ever really truly is, because when it comes to taste in movies, it's purely subjective. But it's about bragging rights. Who among the four of us can talk about the movie, can defend their movie so well that at the end of the tournament, one can stand out as the winner. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Again, it's coming in 2 weeks. You can head to friendstalkingnerdy.com for some more information about that, and just stay tuned to this wonderful podcast for some more information. Continuing with round 1 in Division 3, we have my choice of Touch of Evil facing off against JFK, which is Noel's choice. We have Morah's choice of Die Hard facing off against Sterling's choice of Saving Private Ryan. We have my choice of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan facing off against Noel's choice of Doctor Strangelove. We have Morah's choice of My Big Fat Greek Wedding facing off against Sterling's choice of Forrest Gump. We have my choice of The Blues Brothers facing off against Noel's choice of The Deer Hunter. We have Morah's choice of The Naked Gun 2.5 facing off against Sterling's choice of some French film that if I attempted to pronounce it, I would fail miserably, so I'm not even going to try. We have my choice of Spider-Man, the original with Tobey Maguire, facing off against Noel with his movie Shaft. And finally, the most unique matchup in this tournament. We have Morah with her choice of Forgetting Sarah Marshall against Sterling with his choice of Schindler's List. Stay tuned to the Friends Talking Nerdy podcast network for future information about this tournament, and listen to the tournament. We want you all to enjoy it. We hope you do. So once again, we thank you all for listening. Tune in again next week, and we'll wrap up our 420 holiday celebration. Thank you all for listening.
All right, enough is enough. This is the final, the very, very last straw. Who is responsible for this? I demand that you show yourself. Who are you? Huh?
Am I a stinker?